What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Monday, a little later on in the day. Normally this goes up around 9, but I'm doing one of these single shows today. I had a lot of guests on recently, but I'm going to do it's a news show. Jon Watts, Spider-Man fame, is highly rumored to be doing a series that has not been announced yet, Star Wars series that has not been announced yet, that Favreau is going to produce. And a lot of people are saying it's basically Stranger Things in the Star Wars world during the High Republic, and they're really pushing this High Republic thing. So we'll get into that. Patrick Stewart comments on whether, the rumors going around that he's in the new Doctor Strange movie. You got Uncharted doing pretty well at box office. Peacemaker did really well for HBO Max. And I'm taking questions from you guys. A lot of great stuff going on. And by the way, if you haven't done it, show a little class. Will you subscribe? Hit that notification button. And anything that we're doing. We got the Batman coming up, Batman rewatches, interviews that we've done. So many people kept asking, like, dude, when are you going to do your interviews again? When one-on-one? So many up there, guys. And I'll be honest, I mean, I still, they do just as good as these episodes do, but I was hoping for better. I'm hoping that people that just didn't want to see, I know that there's stuff, the Batman and Star Wars, and when you see that stuff, you want to see it and you click on it, and that's why you're here. I understand that, and I've come to terms with it. But what I will say, it is a bummer when I had such a great interview with whether it's Booker T or whoever it is, and I wanted that thing to do 40, 50, 60, 80, 100,000 views. But, what can you say? I just find people interesting, and more people need to hear their stories. But whatevs, you can find it if you want to watch it. Nonetheless, got a lot to talk about. The movie trivia Schmoedown season 9 is coming up. The hype train continues, everybody. Harloff overhyping the season again, and boy, is it well deserved because the series is awesome. So suck on it, pal. We got a good one. It's gonna be fun today, guys. I hope you enjoy. The show. We're gonna do some fun, have some fun, do the whole thing. Let's do it. It's the big thing. Come on, everybody. What's up, everyone? It's the big thing. It's me. It's you. We're going to have fun today. There's a lot to talk about. And all these interviews and pre-tapes that we're doing. We're getting back in studio finally. We just did the back in studio with Coy and Winston. Did the Dark Knight. We got one more of those to go. We got the Dark Knight Rises. And then we're right into the Batman. We're just going to keep going on, and Coy and Winston are back in studio. We're going to start bringing other people back in studio for other episodes. Sith Council's going to start coming back in the studio. We're moving back into it, and the goal is to rearrange all this stuff too, and get a new look for the studio in general. So a lot of things kind of working as we finally. It feels like 2022 is starting to begin now, even though we're like almost into month 3. But to me, it's almost like month 1. If that makes any sense at all. Let's get right into the news, man. Let's get into the news. I will start with this one. It's fine. I was going to start with the Jon Watts one, but we'll start with this one. This Halo series. I liked the trailer. I'll be honest. I did play Halo. I loved Halo. I was looking forward to when the movie was announced years ago, but then I think it's much better that they're doing TV. Not thrilled that it's not canon or it's kind of a different series altogether. And then I said, let's see. This I don't like this story, though, I'll be honest. This story is I don't like this story. And this is nothing against Pablo Schreiber. I actually really like him. I think he's a great actor. I've liked him ever since Wire season 2. But here's the story. IGN spoke with Kiki Wolfkill, who is 343 Industries studio head of Transmedia. And I got this off Dark Horizons. All these stories will become off Dark Horizons. Studio head of Transmedia and an executive producer of the TV series, who confirms that Pablo Schreiber's Master Chief character in the series will take off his iconic helmet and show his face. Wolfkill says the reason that doing this so is it had to do with the story they're trying to tell. I think we set to tell our character story and a personal story, and once we really got into that story, became clear that you need to see the person in the armor under the helmet. It's called that translates to agent was insisting that actor wanted to show his face. You will see his face. For some people, it's been a moment 20 years in the making. No, and most Halo hardcores don't need to see his face. It adds to the character like dread. This is silly. I don't like this. And for other people, it is something that it feels hard to imagine. Count me as one of those people. We absolutely respect both sides of that fence, and those who really want to see Chief's face and those who don't. But for the nature of the story, it felt important to connect with Master Chief in a different way, and it meant showing the face. Yeah, sure. The explanation was fine. Whether this will be like The Mandalorian with only the occasional glimpse, okay, good comparison to get me saying, okay, let's talk about it, or something more visible. We don't know yet. The series will follow the epic 26th century conflict between humanity and an alien threat known as the Covenant. It's coming out on March 24th. All right, it's a lot to break down here. A lot to break down. First part of it. I don't like it. Doesn't mean I'm going to go and go, well, now the show's going to be stupid. This guy could be absolutely right. You could watch this show and say, well, it made sense for the story, the way that they did for, Mandalorian, as they brought up in the article. And it just happens every once in a while, or it happened once. Okay. All right. Fine. And if I didn't love it, not necessary. I think that, to me, the difference of Mandalorian is that the Mandalorian, in what we saw before we really knew the rules of the Mandalorian, of this series, tons of Mandalorians have shown their face. So then they started to set that rule up in the way that it played into it. You're like, okay, and this was a character that was just invented, so there were no really rules as far as or mystery behind it. Like, oh man, like Boba Fett was one of those people you never saw his face, and people complained that you showed his face too much. Tamar Morrison complained that you showed his face too much. And I mean, that might be a different circumstance because they showed it a lot and talked a lot, but I don't know, man. I think, I don't know about this series. I think it looks great. I liked the trailer. You can see me. I did my reaction to it, and I'm still excited about it. I'm still going to watch it. And it was so long. I played the first 2 or 3 games, and I liked them a lot. I don't know if I'm going to remember so much of it that I'm like, well, wait a minute, because I didn't remember a lot of the shit already that was inside of it. When the trailer, people were telling me, the hardcore fans, like, well, this is different. It doesn't stick to canon. It's this, it's that. And I was like, because a lot of the Spartans, I remember in the game not being around. I remember him being the only one, but apparently I thought maybe he was a prequel beforehand, but apparently it's just they're all going to be running around. So I don't know. It's the same thing when you look at Uncharted that just came out. There's a lot of stuff with Uncharted that was very different from the games, and the casting was extremely different. People had fun with the movie that didn't know the game. So will people give a crap if they're just brand new sticking to this series? I don't know. But what do you say? What do you guys think? Now this is interesting. All right, now everybody heard Patrick Stewart's voice, right? In Doctor Strange. At least everybody thought so. Everybody thought they heard it. I mean, I did the trailer reaction to it, and I said, there it is. That's Patrick Stewart. Everybody did it. So here's the article. The recent Super Bowl launch trailer for Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness got a lot of people talking, and much of that conversation was about one scene and one line of dialogue. Specifically, a scene in the trailer sees a handcuffed Strange brought before a tribunal of some sort populated by figures in silhouette. Then one of them seems to speak, and it's quite clearly Patrick Stewart. And everyone started to speculate that Stewart was reprising his role as Professor X. And then is it part of the Marvel Comics team, the Illuminati, which is a fictional secret society which Xavier, Strange, Tony Stark, Reed Richards, the Inhuman Black Bolt, and Namor the Submariner are a part? The Internet, being the Internet, continued down the rabbit hole of theories, with another being Tom Cruise showing up as an alternate form of Tony Stark. Stewart said Stewart, however, is amusingly playing coy, not confirming or denying the report, after he was asked by comicbook.com about the trailer and if he's going to show up as Professor X. This is what he said. People have been imitating my voice ever since I came on the stage 60 years ago, so I can't be held responsible for that. Okay, that's a nice way to confirm it, because it's not really, because at least he's not going to be called a liar. And Andrew Garfield, I love him to death, is a liar. He had to be. Of course, in the wake of the months of denials by actor Andrew Garfield about what turned out to be correct rumors of his appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm glad that he lied, though, to be honest. No matter, everybody just kind of assumed it anyway, but what's he going to say? He's going to get himself in trouble? No matter what denials actors are going to offer about Marvel these days, don't believe him. Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness arrives in May 6th. Yeah, this fucker's in it. Come on. We know he's in it. Of course he is. And I think that all that other stuff, because we've heard rumors about Tom Cruise, we've heard rumors about John Krasinski being in this thing. That's the scene. This is what I talked about on, I don't remember who it was talking to. It was maybe Jeff Dye, or I can't remember, but we're just talking about all these spoilers that are coming out, you know. I know it's reports, and I'm doing it right now. I'm talking about it. And it's spreading the word. Somebody out there who didn't hear me, the shit just heard it now. So I'm part of the problem. I understand that. Lock me up. I'm overhyping it. But the thing is that these news reports come out, and it seems like, you know, if there's smoke, there's fire. And Rob Liefeld was, even when he was on this show and we talked about it, I don't know what he saw. He didn't confirm anything outright, but he just said, you know, the stuff you hear, it's probably true. Now, we've heard a ton of it, so how much of that we don't know. But yeah, he's in it, and I'm excited to see him. And I don't want to know any more about it. I don't want to know any more about it. We'll talk about it, but I don't want to know any about it. But what do you guys think? He's in this thing, right? There's no doubt at this point. There's no doubt. All right, let's get into this. This is the one that I wanted to talk about. So Jon Watts, who is is just crushing it right now, absolutely crushing it. So he's got rumors going on. So I know that was it Watts that who was the one that had a movie? Was it Watts also? Watts movie scrapped for Star Wars, or was it? I forget. Let's see. I don't know where it was. Either way, I heard someone said that it was creative differences or something for somebody. I thought it was him, but maybe not. Anyway, here's the report. Spider-Man No Way Home director Jon Watts is rumored to be in talks to direct at least one episode of a new and unannounced Star Wars series for Disney Plus service. Disgusting? Yeah, some disgusting animal walked on to the middle of the set, dropped his pants, dropped the dump in the middle of it, and they arrested him. Turned out it was premier chef Wolfgang Puck. It's not true. None of that is true. And I don't know why Wolfgang jumped into my head. Right? Fucking poor Wolfgang. Taking shits. Oh, look out. Come on, cut it out. Discussing film. There we go. I got it. Issued the report indicating that Watts has been invited to sit in the director's chair for at least one episode of the series that is apparently going by the working title of Grammar Rodeo. Favreau is set to be attached to executive produce the new series. This is the Kevin Feige of Star Wars TV, by the way. We know this at this point, which is a great move. Smart move. For people going, hey, how come Favreau isn't doing it? He is. Favreau is said to be attached to executive produce the new series, and it's currently scheduled to start shooting this summer in Los Angeles, and is believed to focus on a younger generation of heroes during the High Republic era, which is 2 centuries before the prequels. The previously announced Star Wars The Acolyte series is also set during the High Republic era, and is currently in pre-production ahead of filming soon in the United Kingdom. But the one Watts has been linked to is said to be a different series, which is likely to be announced at Star Wars Celebration in May. Third season of Mandalorian has reportedly wrapped production ahead of the Star Wars Ahsoka series shooting in LA this spring, which suggests this new series would take that studio space after Ahsoka wraps. A second season of Star Wars Andor is scheduled to begin production this fall in the UK. Watts' involvement in the project will depend on his schedule, with the helmer attached to Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four reboot, producing a 6th Final Destination, and steering an Apple TV series reuniting George Clooney and Brad Pitt. He recently filmed the pilot of the new FX series The Old Man, starring Jeff Bridges. I like it. I like it a lot. And it's not just the rumored series, which we'll talk about in a second. It's the idea that there's a plan. That's what we've been asking for years. And there's a plan. There's a plan of what they want to do, where they're going to do it. It seems like crisp. It seems like they know they're putting Obi-Wan near Andor, and then you got Ahsoka leading into Mandalorian, and Mandalorian tied into Boba Fett, which tied into season 2 of Mandalorian. It's all just playing itself out very well. And then now they're like, well, look, people have been asking to go outside of that realm. And this is why it's not a coincidence that they're pushing so hard with this High Republic books and comics and all that, because they want to get it into the main, the hardcore audience first, and make the hardcore audience aware of the High Republic era. And then when they start introducing it to the casuals and the Disney Plus subscribers, and people are starting to get a little bit more locked into it. I actually feel that out of all of the series or movies, this one might take the most from canon because of a lot of different reasons. I think the one main reason is because it's I think it was kind of coordinated that they wanted to start doing all this. So, and these are new characters, and there's not a lot of, background or expectations on them. So they have this stuff that they could pull from that's working, that people have responded to in the comics and the books of these characters. Maybe not. But I just think that it's got the most possibility to pull the most from the books. The books are very popular with Star Wars hardcore fans. I've not read them, but I hear great things. From the Claudia Gray stuff, I hear great things. And obviously it's Claudia Gray. But nonetheless, this series, this idea of this kind of Stranger Things, younger generation. Now, during the High Republic, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, there's tons of Jedi running around, and the Sith are working in the shadows. This, if the Acolyte does indeed tie into this, and even though this is more lighter and stuff, it could still tie in because of the time period, which I think is smart. When you start to, and now you start to build a new time period that you can play in. And you can create new characters that can then get spin-offs. It's very smart, and it's the way to reintroduce new characters and bring in new people. I love it. I love the idea of it. And then for those people, and it's too kiddie. Fine, it's too kiddie. Don't watch that one. The Acolyte's supposed to steer more adult side. So this is the beauty of being able to do these different series. This one is going to be geared towards kids. Now the question is, how much is it going to be a Stranger Things type thing where there's kids in it, but it still can skew a little bit more towards adults, or is it just going to be like a fun kind of, less serious Stand By Me, or a Goonies, something like that with Jedi kids? That's fun. My 10-year-old will love that. She'll be excited to watch that. So I think that can be something that'll be great. And for those people, because you still see now, I think that people are still in that mindset of the movies, where they watch something and they're like, I can't watch it. Star Wars has really let me down now. I can't do it. I can't watch it. I'm not going to see it. Because you're thinking 3 years later, for people who are upset with Boba Fett, you got Obi-Wan coming around the corner. And for people who don't want that, want something new, you got High Republic stuff. People who love the other things, you got Ahsoka. You have all these different things that you could watch now as a Star Wars fan. And it's like, and at this point, you guys, for those people who are still complaining the fact that Disney's ruining this and Disney's that, whether you're right or wrong, to who I don't feel that way, but if you feel that way, whether you're right or wrong, it's been since 2012. So at this point, stay on the ship or jump off. And there's tons of other shit out there, whether it's Marvel and DC and all this stuff, and tons of it. So and I mean, look at what Peacemaker just did. DC to me is leading the game. If you're talking who's doing it the best right now. But Star Wars has a bunch of different things that they got working. I know people are, well, wait, how do you say DC is leading the charge right now? They've got one series. I love that one series. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Look, there's a lot of the stuff. The WandaVision I liked a lot. I didn't love Hawkeye as much as everybody else did. I liked it. Loki I liked a lot too. But I don't know, but Peacemaker was just my sense of humor also. And I liked there was just no handcuffs. I would much prefer to watch James Gunn do DC stuff than Marvel. I think he works better there. It's my personal opinion, but whatever. But this Star Wars series, man, I'm in it. I'm not in the show, but I want to see it. I'm excited to see it. And I like the idea that we're going to have Star Wars TV, at least 2 to 3 shows, and not including animation, a year. That's great. That's fun. And if it's oversaturated, pick the ones you want to watch. And if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, you get to watch as many in different eras and different time periods and all that. So, that's why when I tell people that I don't really care about the movies as much anymore, because it's just, if it was Watts or Webb, I don't remember who it was. Somebody was rumored to have a movie and then they lost it because of creative differences. I don't know how true it was. It might have just been a rumor. I have no idea. But that does seem to happen a lot in films. And it's like, I think that if you're going to do a film, whatever that film might be, whether it's Taika Waititi's or Kevin Feige's, whatever it is, it should set up an era that you're eventually going to put on TV, so you can pluck more from it than starting off maybe as it being the big pilot. If it's like the big pilot 2 hour, this is like the Knights of the Old Republic. Let's say that was the movie. And setting the whole thing up and then leading that into a series that makes you get excited to watch it on Disney Plus. Then I think get more excited because of the tie-ins. It's the stuff that trying to, I don't know. It's just with no plan that gets me. But anyway, I'm excited for it because I think that web could add a lot to it if all these rumors are true, and they seem to be, because they seem to be coming up more and more and more. And these stories the bigger outlets are catching them, and it seems to be more and more that this is going to happen. And I think if so, Watts is definitely the guy to check this out. So we'll see. The bigger question for you guys that I need to figure out is you got to make sure that you're taking care of your ball bags. And I'll tell you why. You want to start. I need you to give me a round of applause. Do that right now, because I'm excited to announce that MANSCAPED has launched their ultra premium collection. And believe it or not, it's for your not so private parts, and you know that. I'm talking about a leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for every man and covers you from head to toe, literally. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest. You got to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com. You get 20% off and free shipping, but you got to use that code BIGTHING. You got to do it. You know me. Last night, I had my 4-year-old had told me about my nose hair. She pointed at it and she ran away. She got scared. So I stuck that nose trimmer in my nose, and it's wonderful. I love it so much. I love it. I'm addicted to that stupid thing. I love it. It's not stupid. It's wonderful. You can enhance your perfect grooming routine, and they have the Ultra Premium Collection. And this is what it includes. You got the Manscaped Premium Deodorant. It's not for your balls. This is for your stinky armpits. They have those. The deodorant, it's great. It dries clear. It's aluminum free, and it smells like their signature scent. You get body wash in there. You get 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, and a free gift. Send you a free gift. They got about 4 products in there. They got a gift inside the Ultra Premium Collection. It's a big score, guys. Here's what you should do. You should hop in the shower. You scrub the body with the Manscaped body wash. You lather up your hair with the 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. You get your noggin toggin. How about that? You dry off and you spray on the hydrating body spray to moisturize dry skin. You put on the Manscaped deodorant for obvious reasons and pop that Manscaped lip balm on. No one out there's kissing them chapped up lips. Get 20% off and free shipping. Use that code BIGTHING at manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping with the code BIGTHING, manscaped.com. The power of attraction is now in a bottle thanks to Manscaped. Love Manscaped. I do. So good. So good. We got more. We got a lot of stories today. A lot of good ones today. But that was the comment on that Star Wars one. What do you guys think? You like it? You dig it? Let's get into Uncharted. Speaking of, we were talking about video game movies before, but let's talk about Uncharted. So there's some stuff. It's definitely getting a sequel. I mean, they set it up as much for a sequel, but where's the damn Uncharted? It beat box office expectations. So the film adaptation of the Uncharted game franchise, it's coming in ahead of projections. It's set to earn, I think it earned like $50 million. Let me see. I'll tell you right now, because this is an earlier report. So I'm going to tell you what Box Office Mojo has right now. Has the weekend. Tom Holland does $51 million over President's Day weekend. Okay. So at this point, the film took in 15.4 on Friday. It's on track for the biggest theatrical opening of 2022 so far, the biggest since Tom Holland's Spider-Man. This kid's just hitting home runs. Critical reviews have been bad, 39%. Audience reviews are at 89%. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like I 39%. I guess it's just people seeing it and going, I don't know, it's just a generic popcorn movie, and they go right underneath that 3, which is what the Rotten Tomatoes score is. But it's a fun movie. I tell you, if you watch my review on it, I think that. I saw it in the comments. It seems like a lot of the Uncharted fans are like, I don't know. It's a pretty generic movie, but it's definitely, the casting wasn't great. And then you get the people who are just going in to see a fun popcorn movie, who know nothing about the game, wind up enjoying it. So with a $120 million production budget, the film needs to make a good coin overseas. It pulled in $22 million last weekend from a dozen markets, and it looks like it's going to get around $100 million by the end of the Sunday or Monday. What did it do? Let's see what did it do worldwide. So worldwide, Uncharted so far has made $139 million. So there you go. 139. So it's going to do pretty good. So it did it. It had a global of 139. They predicted it at 100 million by the time this article was out. Dog is also coming out above estimate, taking in 5 million on Friday, tracking for 15 million 4-day. So and it looks like it's doing good critically. Death on the Nile ate it, and Spider-Man No Way Home is coming in third. Good Lord. And Jackass Forever is expected to be in fifth. It comes from Variety by way of Dark Horizons. Yeah, I think that this is it. It caught. It makes a lot of sense why it did well. Absolutely, for the reasons that I just mentioned earlier about people who I think who had never seen the movie, didn't know what to expect, went in saying that Spider-Man's got a new movie. Let's go see what that is, and they watch it. It's a fun popcorn movie. Know nothing about it. I saw people coming out of the screening that Ben Bateman being one of them, going, I knew nothing about that. I just had a blast. I didn't know what the hell to expect. And I think that that's why it's doing well. And because with things going down now and people wanting to get back into the movies and they look, I just want to get out of the house finally. I want to go to the movies. I want to go back to the movies. What's out? This is Uncharted with the Spider-Man kid and Marky Mark. Let's do it. That's what happened. And now that's exactly what happened to every single place. And they all sounded like my friend Richard back home. Hey, listen, not for nothing, but I'm just sitting around having Kelly yell at me, and I'm sitting in my underwear watching reports on the Giants and the Rangers. But I gotta get out of the house, man. The kid who slings webs, orders pizzas. He's got a new movie. He's collecting the trash like Indiana Jones. Want to go? Stewart. Yeah, Marky Mark's in it as well. Anyway, so that's it. That's the box office. It's gonna, get out of the way because here comes the Batmobile. Just roll over everyone's head because that movie's going to just annihilate box office records. And the 3 hour is interesting to see how. I mean, what was Spider-Man? 235, 240 or something. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to catch Spider-Man or get that close, but it's going to do damn good, especially if it's good. So we'll see. Right around the corner. All right, what's next? We did that one. What's this one? Oh, this is a cool one. It's off the Star Wars and Marvel and DC train. This is something different. Robert Downey Jr., even though he is in Marvel movies, it's not what this one is. Him and Shane Black are talking about doing stuff again. And they're buddies. I mean, that was honestly the first time I ever I had a chance to meet Robert Downey Jr. a few different times. And one of the ways I did that is because I was working at Silver Pictures. And we had worked on Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and it was right after I had gotten there. And these guys are two peas in a pod, man. Obviously, Iron Man 3. But yeah, they're gonna looks like they're gonna do something else. And following their collaborations on Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and Iron Man 3, Robert Downey Jr. and Shane Black are looking to reteam again for a hard-boiled detective yarn. That's what Shane does very well. Matthew Bologna of Puck News. When I'm hearing newsletter via the playlist reports that they are developing a new film based on the criminal anti-hero character Parker from author Donald E. Westlake. The main protagonist across 24 novels, the rather irredeemable and ruthless character has been adapted for the screen several times, is John Borman's 1967 Point Blank, starring Lee Marvin, Brian Helgen's Payback, and Parker with Jason Statham. So it's right around the same area. Jim Brown, Robert Duvall, Peter Coyote, and Michael Constantine have all played different named versions of the character. All right, so this is gonna surprise no one. After Reacher, why wouldn't you do this as a TV show? A Shane Black, Robert Downey Jr. TV show? Oh, crush! Somebody picked that up immediately. You do like 8 episodes because it's the same question I had when I saw that movie Blacklight. Different. But Liam Neeson making that movie Blacklight in 2009 or right after whatever the movie is, The Taken comes out, does a lot better. Nobody even knew that movie. I did a review of it, did like 2,000 views. Nobody knew what the hell it was. And everybody said, I didn't even know the movie was coming out. It came out because that's a movie that back in the day does very well if it follows the success of Taken and everything that he was doing. That's why they did Unknown and all those other movies that he did, and they did decent enough. It's 12 years later or whatever the hell it is. Nobody cares anymore, and streaming services have taken over, and you can see movies like that on streaming all over the place. I feel the same with this. It'll be a lot better quality than that movie Blacklight, and Blacklight was terribly written. This will not be. This will be written very well because Shane Black is a phenomenal writer. But go after the TV on this one. Go after TV. A TV series with Robert Downey Jr. and Shane Black writing it. I think that's the old school mentality. I'm not doing TV. I'm a movie star. I could be wrong, but it seems like that's where we'd bounce into it at that point. But I don't think you need to do it. Hope it does well. But I look at what was it? Freaking Nice Guys. Nice Guys is awesome. Nobody went and saw it. People don't go to the movies for that anymore. It sucks. What the hell am I doing over here? Yeah, it sucks. But it is what it is. People go to the movies for the big Uncharted, Spider-Man. They didn't go for the Suicide Squad, which sucks because that movie was fantastic. The Batman they're going to go see. But these little movies, man, I think that their new home is TV, and you get to, and imagine being able to spend six weeks with Robert Downey Jr. as this character. And we'll talk about look what they did with Pam and Tommy. That could have been back in the day. That's a 2-hour movie, and it probably would even try to maybe even do that it would probably come out really terrible as like a comedy in the theater or something. If they had the same people involved, right? Because Seth Rogen I'm not doing TV. Now he does TV and he produced the TV, and we'll talk about it later because someone asked about if I'm watching it, but. Yeah, and if you go back watching my stuff from like 10 years ago, you couldn't imagine in a million years I'd say something like that. But for me, it's character development, and it's the stuff that I there's certain things that I think that should stick for movies for sure. But I don't know, that one to me I think could have been a TV series, but we'll see. I'm still excited nonetheless that they're pairing up and that they're going to be doing something. I will go and see it. Uh-oh. But yeah. I don't know. We'll see. All right, moving on. Is there anything else? Oh, yes. Yep. Peacemaker, man. Peacemaker. This thing crushed. It crushed. But here's what it set a new HBO Max record. Peacemaker. John Cena, James Gunn. The recent season finale of James Gunn's Peacemaker, it set a new record for its streaming service at HBO Max. The series continued to build up its audience from week to week since its debut on January 13th. The finale is viewership. It did. Sorry. The viewership was up 23% compared to the previous episode and up 44% compared to the series premiere. That's big. 44%. Word of mouth was massive with this thing. It also had the biggest single day performance for Max original series ever, while social media engagement for the series has been a smash. The series finale trending at number 2 nationwide on Twitter the other day. All right, the 8-episode series. It's already been renewed for a second season with Gunn set to write and direct every episode in the new run. I love that. He loves this show. You can tell he's having a lot of fun with this show, and you could tell the quality of the show. And I had Freddie Stroma on, who plays Vigilante, which is my favorite character on the show. And if you haven't had that chance to watch that interview, please do. And he was just pumped up because I asked him if they were going to do a Vigilante spinoff. And he's like, I just want to do season 2. I think he knew already that it was coming out. But nonetheless, it's out. It's coming out. And James Gunn is directing it or writing it, going to direct some of them. And that's great news because that means he wants to. He's not just like, I don't know, man. You want to do a second one, do it without me. There's some fun stuff. I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you want to watch any of my spoiler reviews, you can watch that. They're up. But for people who haven't watched this thing, I don't want to mess with it. But it's why I said what I said before, where I think that this is a show that is kind of crossed over and people didn't know anything about it. Nobody knew what the Peacemaker was. It didn't have like it's not coming off like a massively popular movie. The Suicide Squad didn't do very well. It did bad. And it didn't do very well on HBO Max, which is crazy because it's a fantastic film. It didn't do very well. So it was a massive risk where I don't think HBO knew what they had on their hands. But it kind of plays into what I just said with, now it's different, but what I was talking about with TV. It's different because DC should be taking shots on some properties and they have the budgets to try to get the big popcorn movies that they're going to play into things. There's no doubt. But it's the reason why the Marvel series and Star Wars series are working, because they're taking their properties and making things. And they already had some other stuff that they already worked on too, like Doom Patrol and some other things that DC was already doing. But by using that name of James Gunn and making a series like this and using that humor and saying, okay, these fuckers that didn't go out and see the Suicide Squad, we'll put it on TV where they're going to watch it because they have a subscription. They might as well watch it and see what they want. And this is the whole point. I mean, well, that's the same thing with Suicide Squad. You have to understand that first movie drove a lot of people away. Like, even talking to Jeff Dye last week, and he's like, yeah, I hated the first one so much that I didn't want to see the second one. And my friend John Pinto, I bring up on the show all the time, same thing. Hated the first one. Why do I want to watch the second one? And they don't pay attention to the news the way that we do. They don't know about James Gunn. They don't know about these other things. They just hear the Suicide Squad's coming out and they go, I saw the first one. I hated that thing. I'm not seeing the second one. The casual fan, that's why the casual fan didn't watch it on HBO Max. That's why the casual fan didn't go, because they were just like, no thanks. And then Peacemaker comes out, starts to have a TV series. What I hope happens, what I'd like to see is the numbers on the Suicide Squad now after that movie came out. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see. But, we shall see. I think that's it. I think that's it as far as news. Let me see. Peacemaker, Patrick Stewart, Halo. Yeah, I got everything. All right, one thing I want you guys to know about. I know we've talked about it already, and people are getting into it. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that when you're walking around, sometimes, or I should say gentlemen here, when you're walking around and you're at a gas station, you've been at a gas station before, I know you have been. And when you're there, you look on over, and what do you see? You see those hard-on pills. You see those hard-on pills. You see them, and you go, wait a minute. Should I do this? Should I do this? And the answer is no, you shouldn't, because the stuff that's in there, it's not good for you. It's really not good for you. And that's a lot of the other stuff that's also the stuff that they say is really good for you. It's not. The pills they're not good. So JOYMODE, we've been talking about it right now. I mean, you've all gone to the gym, you've all taken your supplements, right? Well, my question to you is this. Why not do the same for sex? Right? Because JOYMODE, it's here. And it's here to save the day. It doesn't matter if you're happy or unhappy with your performance in the bedroom. You got to perform even better. JOYMODE's Sexual Performance Booster. It's like a pre-workout, but with sex. You go to great lengths to biohack your way to better mental and physical performance. But what about the bedroom? JOYMODE, what they do is they make natural and science-backed sexual wellness products for their men. Their Sexual Performance Booster is like a pre-workout, but it's for sex, as I mentioned before. I think it's something that's people go, I don't need that. I'm doing good. Same thing when you go to the gym. And JOYMODE was created because the products in the market, they're terrible, and they know that they could do better. Prescriptions come with all sorts of side effects, and the over-the-gas station pills they're just sketchy, and they're fraudulent, honestly. But lots of guys take both because they don't have a better option. And what you do is you just tear open the sachet, and you mix it with 6 to 8 ounces of water, just like your favorite electrolyte packet. For best use, you consume it anywhere, from 45 minutes to 4 hours prior to sexual activity. So if you want to spice things up in the bedroom and you boost your sexual performance, and you do it naturally without nasty prescription drugs, we have a special offer. A special offer for the Big Thing audience. Go to joymode.com/bigthing. Enter Big Thing at checkout for 20% off your first order. It's pretty good. That's use joymode.com/bigthing for 20% off your first order. Thank you, JOYMODE. Excited. People are enjoying the JOYMODE. It's honestly no shit. All right. So I took some questions from you guys today. Started off and I said, let's do some questions. I want to do some questions. So we got a lot of them. So we're going to finish out the show here doing some questions. Start with the first one by Justin Langley. This is my Facebook page, by the way. You go facebook.com. I think it's either Harloff or Christian Harloff. It's the official one. So if you want to ask questions and stuff. The link's in the description for this video. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Pam and Tommy series on Hulu. If you've gotten a chance to watch it. I have. I'm all caught up. I'm all 5. I figured I was just going to review the whole series once I watched the whole thing. Instead of doing it week to week, because I caught on to it a little later. My wife and I just binged it the other night. It's great. It's great. I think Sebastian Stan and Lily James are just kind of on fire with it. Seth Rogen's pretty much playing Seth Rogen, but he's great. He's great in it. He's just, but I don't. When you look at the picture of the guy, it looks nothing like Seth Rogen. I mean, nothing like Seth Rogen. But the costumes in this show are great. The costuming, the wardrobe, I should say, phenomenal. I feel like I'm right in the middle of the 90s. The story itself is pretty heartbreaking when you think about it, because I think that it's very similar to what we talk about on this show, where I think anytime you're from a small scale to something like what I'm doing here, to the height of what Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson is, like, you don't associate people as they're just people you see on TV. They're people you hear on, so they're not real. But when you really look at it and you really dive into what people go through, right? And this was like monumental. These people, they had a tape stolen from them in their house, and then this was before, a tweet could do damage, or a tweet could put your name out there and do stuff. And a tweet could take, again, imagine if they would have had video of this. A tweet could put that out there and spread like wildfire. This is the beginning of all that. It was it. And someone stole it. They started putting it on the internet when the internet was starting to move, and it was like the first kind of viral thing that happened. It is nuts. And then you just see them. They don't know what the hell's about to happen, this kind of wave that happens now, and it's like that first kind of big wave of, this is like, they made a tape, the two of them, and they were like really in love, and they'd gotten married after meeting in, whether it was, who knows with that lifestyle. You don't live that lifestyle. I certainly don't live that lifestyle. Who knows? But either way, I think that what they've done very well is show, like, Pam, what she had to go through and the shit that she went through, and a lot of the way that I think that it was, and I asked Frank, because Frank Janish was watching it, and I said to him at one point, I'm like, you're really making Tommy Lee out to be an asshole, man. He's a real asshole. And he's like, not likable. You don't ever want to root for him. He's like, yeah, they really established that in like the first episode and the second episode, but then you start to see he's not like that the entire run. He's not. He's selfish. He's selfish throughout the whole thing. But they're portraying him like he legit. I mean, and I know all the shit that he did to her, and he went to jail for a lot of this stuff too. But I'm just saying, during this time period, he legit, they were in love. It wasn't he wasn't the one that sold the tape or anything like that. But what they do very well in the series is they paint different, here, because he is a fucking asshole. This guy Rand. He's an asshole to him, and the guy rips him off. He shouldn't have ripped him off. Shouldn't have stole his shit. Shouldn't have put his shit out there. But he was an asshole to him. Didn't pay him for his job, and he should have taken him to court. Is what he should have done. But then there's other sides of it. You're like, okay, he's just fucked up, and he's trying to do right by his wife, but he can't get it right. But it's her that you're really feeling for. She had all this shit going on in her life at the time that it went down, and it ruined the trajectory that she was on and the stuff that she was doing. So. It's fascinating the way that they play it. Nick Offerman's really good in it. They play it. It's not it's fun. It's funny, but it's also serious. But I dig it. I like it a lot. I think it's a great series. Really, really excited for it, for the next one when it comes out. All right. This is the next one here. Paul Chetty. When are we going to see Brett and Kate again? Well, you can see Brett and Kate every week. If you're part of the SCN Live Patreon, they have a show that they do every week, but they will be coming back in studio soon. I'm going to start getting people back in, so don't you worry about that. Reese Parkin, hey man, I have a question about your time as a writer in the WWE. Oh man, that's brief. I've spent more time in the toilet in the last 2 days. What was the process of constructing a show and the storylines, and has that experience helped you with creation and wrestling theatrics in the Schmoedown over the last few years? Thank you, and keep up the good work. So yeah, there's a lot to break down here. Let's start. What was the process of constructing a show and the storylines? Well, I mean, maybe significantly different when I was there in 2001. So it could be very different, 21 years later. It was a small team when I was there. It was and I don't even know. It was me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was like 8 people. Michael P.S. Hayes was part of it. Bruce Pritchard was part of it. Stephanie McMahon, Brian Gerwitz. I'm trying to think. There were a few. Ed, I can't remember Ed's last name, but there were a few. And we would pitch stuff, and they would talk about the angle that Vince was working on and wanted to do, and he'd come up with things that would happen all the time. Is that we would be there, we'd think that it passed, Vince okayed it, and then he changed his mind and wanted to do something different. That happened a bunch while I was there. And then there were other times where we had stuff that was structured out, and when I was there, I was kind of assigned to some of the newer wrestlers, and I had to write like Perry Saturn, something for Moppy when I was there, and they would call me in, and I had to tell Vince, this is what I was thinking, and this is kind of the idea. And he's like, well, he wouldn't say that, make that way, maybe that makes more sense, do that. And that's kind of when it was. I wasn't there very long, so but it was crazy. It was like going to boot camp. But to answer your second part of your question, have I used that stuff to use it for Schmoedown stuff, over the top stuff and all that? Oh, excuse me, wrestling theatrics. So I don't think it's not just my experience of being there and the process of that, as much as it was my overall experience watching wrestling in my lifetime. Like the golden era and the attitude era are my two. And this is why I'm just going to show you guys this. Let me show you this.
Oh my God, look who's back. The Smasher is back.
You out here talking about fights. You want to fight this person, you want to fight that person. Well, bub, if you're looking for a fight, then let's fight!
You know how you're going to start this season? With an L.
I'll see your punk ass next season. If I wasn't clear enough, the Smasher's back. And Chandru's next!
All right, so I hope that you guys got that. I hope that that played through. So, as I mentioned, this season is going to be. We already shot a whole bunch of stuff, and it's the biggest and it's the best thing that we've ever done as far as writing goes. It's going to be very exciting when I'm able to kind of tell you everything, and it's why it broke my heart this morning. I kind of broke balls a little bit in the beginning of the show, but like. I think that Reddit over for Schmoedown is pretty great, and they have a lot of great conversations, and they talk about things, and they get you talking about it. It's the passionate fans in there. But like, I saw this morning. So this guy, what's his name? Tata. So he starts up. I'm breaking my fucking balls here. He's busting his ass. He's busting his ass again. I'm breaking my balls here. I can't wait. I'm so fucking pumped for this season. I can't even tell you. Like it's finally the first time. Like you got to remember that when the pandemic was when it hit, like we had all these plans of these great things we were going to do with this show since I took over Skybound. We haven't been able to do that in 2 years. So I was talking to Jen Sturger and to Janine and Kevin Smets and Ellis and everybody about what we had just done. I'm like, how different does this feel? And they all said the same thing. This is so different. It's so much fun. It's so exciting. And I posted this thing on my page the other day, on this page, this channel. And so I wrote, I have a question for my new subscribers and my subscribers in general. How many of you have watched the MTS? How many have watched in the past? How many are watching currently? And how many have never watched? And I said, this Saturday is the 26th, and it's the most unique season I've ever done. And I remember the writing of it was the most that I had ever done. The idea, the structure, putting it all together, it's the most unique that I've ever done as far as that goes. But man, this guy, like this morning, I was fucking bummed because I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to start, these announcements are coming out and this is happening, And it's like the overhyped train. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to I'm fucking hyping it. I'm so pumped for this season. It's like it is nothing I've ever done. I'm so excited for it. It's like I wrote this whole fucking thing. I can't wait. And it's like, hasn't even started yet. I'm like, dude, I just taped all this shit. And it's like, I'm like, oh man, this is the place. I'm like, it's the same thing I think with Star Wars that I was talking about before. It's like, don't you want it to be fun? Don't you want it to be good? Don't you want it to be hyped? It's like, why do people go there just to, like, not just this Reddit, but in general, people just go there to, like, think about what could be bad or what could be, like, it's, I don't get it. And it was a bummer this morning. Like, and I've told myself this season, look, the other side of it is that what I'm very aware is, as the Schmoedown is modeled off of wrestling, that not everybody's going to be happy with the stuff that you're doing. They're gonna have ideas. I'll put stuff out that you guys aren't going to like, and that's fair, totally fair. But like, yeah, I'm hyping it up because I'm fucking excited about it. I'm really excited about it. It is something that like just jolted me full of energy, and something I thought about, and I was like, oh, and I can't wait for people to hear about it. I can't wait to do these little teases on the channel to get people hyped up about it, to see once we finally get there, they're like, oh, okay, that's what you were doing. Okay. And then once it comes out, you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. Your opinion's your opinion. But like that one got me this morning. And just to be, I mean, why would you tell people that? I was being honest. That one bothered me this morning when I saw that. And it's like, because I was like, oh man, yeah, I'm fucking excited about it. I tweeted out about it. I put YouTube about it. I'm like, I can't wait. I talk to my family about it all the time because I'm like, oh, I can't wait till they see this. I hope they enjoy this. I'm making this show for you guys. And it's like, sometimes, people can be dicks. And it's like, I don't know why, but that one got me. That one got me. But you got to have the thick skin because, and that's nothing yet. That's nothing yet because once this new shit comes out, maybe not everyone loves it. But either way, that one bummed me out. All right, let's move on. Let's go on to the next one. Uber parta frata reprata tata. Whatever. I'm just breaking you balls, man. Keep on posting. Have a blast. I gotta figure out how to do Reddit. I haven't even an account yet. But I'll get one. Maybe I'll do a Q&A over there. Maybe that's what I'll do. All right. Anyway, we did Justin Langley's. Paul Chetty, we did that one. There we go. We did that. We just did that one, you stupid asshole. Sorry about that. Mike Sullivan. How did you go from Queens to New Jersey and then L.A.? Sounds like a horror movie to this East Coast biased New Yorker. Well, thank you, Mike. Well, I never went to New Jersey. I never went to New Jersey. That was Tom Dagnino. That was in Jersey. I never went. I mean, I've been there before, but I never lived there before. So I went from New York to Florida to L.A. And how that all happened. I've told this story briefly, but for those people who are maybe brand new to the channel and just kind of found me. But when I was in the 7th grade, my mother took me and my brothers to San Diego for like 3 weeks. And it was like going to another planet. And it was a planet that I really enjoyed. I was kind of unhappy I think I was like 12 at the time. I was a little unhappy. It was 2 years after my parents' divorce. I was kind of, I was an awkward kid, and I was also the class clown. And that's kind of how I got through school, was cracking jokes and doing stuff that way. And I had my little circle of kind of other class clowns, but I wasn't like the cool kid. I wasn't that. I was just like a kid that was awkward. And I was sad because, I just wasn't happy at that age. But my mom took me and my brothers to San Diego, and I was the most happy I think I'd have been in my life when I went there. I just felt like a different person, felt like from the way reacting to people when I was out there. And it was just something like it was like this, I think it was like called like the Boys and Girls Club or something. I think that's what it was, where I was there for a little while, and I had done this stuff with my brothers, and we were there, and I just fell in love with California. And I said to myself at that young age, one way or another, I will get back here, one way or another. And that's what I did. I just kept that in my brain. And when I was, how old was I? I don't know. I went to college at Iona College for my first year. I was living in Queens for high school in Queens. Said I had to get out of Queens. I just had to get out, and I wanted to go and go somewhere else. And I didn't go very far. I went to New Rochelle, which is like a half an hour away from Queens, maybe 45 minutes with no traffic. And I lived there. I went to school there for my first year. It was a business school. And I said, I don't know. My dad was living in Florida at the time. And he said, hey, they have these programs. If you want, you can come in. I mean, and you can go. It was like you can go straight from Iona. You might not have the grades right away to get into Florida or Florida State or whatever it is. But if you want to come in, you can go to junior college. They have the program here that after you go to junior college for a set amount of years, whatever you can, or set amount of credits, whatever it is, you can transfer to one of the big schools. So I'm like, I thought about it. I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time. We wound up breaking up. And then I went and I got into, and then I went to live with my dad for a bit. And then I got back together with my ex-girlfriend, and I almost went to the University of Georgia, which there's a whole other story. Professor Crow, I've talked about on, I can't do Professor Crow right now. The window's open. But Professor Crow was, she was not a fan of mine. And I wound up, and I still, to this day, I can tell the whole story some other time, but like I didn't get into University of Georgia, and then I went going to Florida State the next semester, met a lot of friends there, but then had the goal to get back to California, and eventually I did that, and I got to California. But those are other details way down the line in a different video. What's next? What's next? Well, I'll tell you what's next, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what's next. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next is your lawn. You gotta pay attention to your lawn. I don't know if you guys do. My lawn is already looking better, and I'll tell you why. Because spring is right around the corner. And the soft grass, it's right under your feet, but you gotta get your lawn back. This is what Sunday does. It gets your lawn growing, and it helps to keep it healthy all season long. You know, some of you think that about lawns, and you're not even thinking about it because it's wintertime. But right now, that's the time you got to prep for it. You say, but it's got so much to do. Get it green and healthy, but Sunday takes care of all the work for you. Sunday can help you grow a beautiful lawn without the guesswork or the nasty chemicals. All you got to do is visit Sunday.com. You put in your address, and their lawn analyst, yeah, there you go. Their lawn analysis tool will do the rest. Then they use soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan delivered to your door when you need it. Just attach the ready-to-use pouch to a garden hose and spray. It takes less than 15 minutes. Best of all, it works. Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plan. It starts at $129, and you can get 20% off checkout, but you got to go to getsunday.com/bigthing20. You get 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/bigthing20. Love Sunday. Get it, man. I'm telling you. So for Kaiser saying, I'm going to get my own lawn, eat shit, buddy. I got Sunday. Let's move on. Thank you to Mike for that question, by the way. Justin Square, if you could have an hour-long conversation with yourself at any age, what age would you pick and why? I hate to make this kind of like a sad show. This Reddit guy really got to me more so than I wanted to. We're people, damn it. Probably when I was younger, man. Probably after like 10 or 11 years old. I'd say just hang in there, kiddo. You know? You just got to figure it out. Because I think that is kind of a sad kid. So, sorry about doing this today. Normally not me. I don't know what it was. I don't know what that comment got me today. I was just bummed. I thought I was making something fun for everybody. So I'm sorry to be sad today, everybody. But, that's what it is. You guys are pulling me down that road. So let's move on. Gerald Yelverton. Do you think the movie pundit industry will ever see an era where there's so many super teams like Collider, Screen Junkie, Schmoes at the same time again? I'll be honest with you. I hope not. As much as I have to be very thankful for all the wonderful things that came from that era, I think it kind of hurt the YouTube movie space when all that stuff was going on. Because it changed what YouTube ultimately was. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I think I've talked about it recently. And it's gone back to that. And I think it should stay that way. YouTube started as what we're doing right now. Just back and forth, having a conversation, talking to your audience, responding to the comments, doing that. And then it got corporate, whether it was, Defy or Collider or IGN or Nerdist or any of it. And it became like, and the idea from everybody included was, let's do ESPN for movie news. And everybody felt that way in movies. And I think it's more relatable when it's stuff like, I certainly have more fun doing this. I got caught up in it. There's no doubt about it. But I had more fun when it was Mark and I just together doing the reviews and doing that. And that's why I think I'm enjoying this more. Like the early version of when Mark and I would just I think we just did a podcast with each other. We had, we'd have a guest come in, shoot the shit, and then we just kind of bounced it back. And it's just to me, that's what I like to do. And I have that because it's just, you can focus a lot more. And I think that that's what people are doing now. A lot of people are doing, even people that we've been, they're doing. I think that's more accessible. I think it's more enjoyable for everyone involved. So no, I don't necessarily think, or you never know. I mean, it could be in different spaces, maybe not in the movie space, but I don't think it's going to happen in the movie space again. But I don't know. I could be wrong. All right, next one. This is a big one, but I like it. Back to Langley. Hey, I love what you're doing. Following you since the early days on AMC, Talk with Campy and the crew. Love seeing you legitimately happy doing what you're doing and really shows in your work. So random, not current. However, my buddy and me went back and watched Spawn last night, and it's bad. But however, we're also watching the series, and it's great. Yes, okay, that's what I was going to say. So my question is, how would you go about making a Spawn movie today, and do you think it's an IP studios think that they can make? Well, I know Todd McFarlane seriously wants to do it. He talked about it, I think when he was on Collider Live, he talked about doing it, and they even said they were doing a movie. I'm going broken record here, man. Take the fucking HBO series, the animated series, and adapt the whole series onto an HBO Max show. I mean, look what Peacemaker did as far as pushing the limits. Push the limits on that show, like a horror slash. It's you can I mean that animated series was creepy. Make that an HBO Max show. Get Spawn out of the. I know you're tired of it. I get it, but it's make it an HBO Max show. That's how you do it. That's exactly how I would do it today. And yes, you could definitely do it. Next question. Here we go. All right. Oh, we did that one already. All right. A lot here today. Well, a couple left. Luke stuttered. Stewart. I'm sorry. I hope it stuttered. Sorry, Luke. I have a question. How do you handle the juggling of leading such a big product like the Schmoedown with multiple people you have employed? Do you have people you can fight in and talk to, help you with hard decisions? Also being someone who's very idea-oriented, how do you keep level-headed enough to listen to other people when in your life when they feel your idea is wrong? Really great question. So, and it's actually something I think that people don't really understand. So that's why I did the partnership with Skybound. I have the full team over there that I have, creative. I have the full creative output, and they listen to what I say. But stuff like when there's certain decisions and certain things that, as far as hiring and things like that, all questions should be directed to them, for sure. 100%. I'm here to make a show. I'm here to do the creative on it. But because it was my thing and Mark's thing for such a long time, people still tweet at me, go to me, ask me questions about certain things, and I'm like, Skybound's right over there. Skybound. That's where that's so when you ask about the hard decisions and questions about things, Skybound. But creative decisions and things of that nature goes to your second part of your question. When it comes to the creative side of it, and I have ideas, I have people that I trust very much so inside of my team that I will say, hey, this is something I was thinking of, and someone I've been actually talking to creatively a lot. There are a lot, so I don't want to leave everybody out, but somebody that I've been talking to as far as storylines and stuff has been Andrew Guy. I've been talking with Andrew Guy a lot, and Jen Sturger, both of them. But Jen Sturger has a great mind for wrestling and ideas, and that's why sorry to keep harping on this, but today when I saw that, I was like, fuck, man, really, overhyping? I just thought Sturger, who will tell you right away if she thinks the idea is no, the people aren't going to like that, she'll tell you right away. She's like, I have never had so much fun doing this show. And I'm like, I know, it felt like exactly what we wanted to do. And same thing, and I was like like dancing in my kitchen this morning, thinking about like coming in. I'm like, I can't wait for them to see it. And I'm like, let's see what Reddit's saying. And then that guy, I'm like, that dude has no idea. And maybe he doesn't care. But that's what I'm saying. People have no idea what the effect they could have on your day. Like I went into the day so excited for the day. Of like getting, because we're prepping as we're coming up. We have more material coming out. We have a video coming out to announce managers and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, what are they going to talk about? Are they hyped about the manager? Are they speculating? Because I listened to a certain point of view last night, and all they're doing is speculating. Like they're having fun. They're speculating about who's on each faction and what could happen here. I'm like, that's the kind of conversation I want to listen to. And I'm reading. Okay, they're thinking this, they're thinking that. They're not. No, like I love following. That's why I'm people. Why do you go to Reddit? That's why, because I like following those conversations of the speculation and all that. But like this one knifed me in the fucking heart. It just knifed me in the heart. And again, I know, sack up, get a thick skin, but I'm being completely honest with you guys. Like it just changed my day. I was like, I had to go this morning and do something. I was like, really? Like that was fuck. And I know it's one dude. I get it. But then, you people pile on. It's part of it. I get it. I understand. I'm just venting to the big thing audience today. But man, and I don't know what type of guy this is. This is the type of guy, and we'll find out today, I'm sure, because I'll post about it. Is it a type of guy that's like, we're trying to, feels like a human being and says, oh, fuck, I didn't mean to fuck that guy's day up? Or does he say, haha, blah, 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 and gotcha? Because there's gotcha people out there. Anyway, I don't know. This is the thing with this show. It goes where it goes. Whatevs. But as far as Andrew Guy and Jen go, I've been talking to them a lot creatively, and Andrew will always ask questions. Is what I love when I have like these angles, and I put together this one angle this year, and I was going through it, and Andrew was like saying, well, what about this and this? Oh, really? You think that's gonna work? How come? And he'll ask a question. I'm like, and it challenges me, because then I'll move it around. Same thing with Jen. Jen had something that I don't want to ruin, because it's gonna actually, it'll air during the most overhyped season ever, apparently. But Jen, we were shooting this thing, and I had made this decision. I made this call to put a certain character somewhere and then move it and do that. And Jen goes, well, that character wouldn't be there. That character wouldn't do that. It should be this character instead. And immediately I went, 100% you were right. Absolutely. That makes much more sense. So I very much so listen to a lot of the input that's coming out from you guys too. I like to listen to, but that's what I'm saying though. That's why I like to listen to a certain point of view, and that's why I like to listen to these shows that do it constructively. I don't want everybody to be like, oh, it's great. I want to hear, oh, okay, maybe that person makes a good point. It's like when people just want to like cut you, that's like, I don't get it. Like that's what I don't get. And it's also because that guy don't know me. He didn't know me. He has a perception of me, an idea of who he thinks I am. But like, I actually thought about maybe reaching out to the guy and say, hey man, why don't you and I just have like a conversation? And I'm like, you can't do that with everything. And you can't have conversation with everybody. Not everybody's going to like everything you do. And not everybody's going to, be excited for everything. Some people are skeptical by nature, and it's your job to prove to them. My job now is to prove to, what's his name? Flatipotamus? What is his name? Hold on. It's my job to get Reparatata. My job is to get Reparatata hyped in the season. So hopefully Reparatata, if he's just going to be, there are some people that are just critics that just want to be your critic just to be a critic, and there's nothing you can do ever that's good. My deal is to get Reparatata and get him to say, hey man, you hyped it up and it was right. That's the goal. But you never know. Who knows? I don't know shit. Do you? I know this is a long episode, but I dig it. And I dig you guys.
I wish I knew.
Me too.
Do me a favor, please.
What's that?
Get out of here.
I am.
Get out of here, man. Shit.
All right, fine. I'm out. All right, it was a fun one. I was a little open today. I hope you enjoyed it. Go to the Apple Podcast, will you? Go to the app, but subscribe here first. Subscribe here, notification, do all that. But go to the Apple Podcast and Spotify and all that. That helps tremendously. Really helps tremendously. All right, everybody. It was a good one. Comment away. And that was the other question for people who are wondering, if you wrote a comment on a video a little while ago and hasn't yet responded, it's taken me a while with the launch of the new season and everything. I'm doing it. I'm going through this. It's a good problem to have. There's a lot of comments all over the place. So I go through and I'm gonna try to tackle a bunch today. I need to go on an airplane. That's what I remember when on an airplane one day I did like 4 hours worth of comments. It's hard to do. But I'm gonna get to it. I'm trying my hardest. So comment away, have fun, and once again, guys, please, if you haven't checked out the Schmoedown season 9, it's really something that I'm super excited about, and obviously the team that put it all together, they crushed it with Thad Williams back in production, Terry Lynn, Courtney, Kim. I mean, there's so many people. Brian Ward, David B. So many people that I can't even imagine all the stuff that's been going on and helping out for this season. I cannot wait for you to see it. And I know that's ultimately why I put that post out there. By the way, the post was to say to people it did its job. And a lot of people had said, "Hey, man, I never watched it." I'm like, well, check out this season. 2, I used to watch it back in the Collider era when it was a little bit more fun. I said, that's the whole point of this season. It's fun. I used to like more of the storyline stuff. Same thing. I just like the trivia. You're going to have something for yourself too. So like we wanted to appease every single fan, Hopopotamus and Sodopotamus, that guy too. Like we wanted to appease every single fan and the things that you like. Because ultimately, even as much as that kid, that guy's a fan. Otherwise, he's not going to be there. And there's something about it at one point or another that he liked. So our goal is to make sure that we can find something for everyone to enjoy this season, no matter what it is. So that's why I want to get the feedback from you guys. I'm excited. Please, if you're brand new to the channel and you go check it out, the link for the Schmoedown is in the description of this channel. We're very excited and proud of it this season. I can't wait. February 26th, Smasher comes back from a year and a half away after battling cancer. And he's got to go up against Chandru, Video Drew, and Claudia Dolph going up against the Wildberries. Josh McCouga and Elliot Dewberry are back. So so much fun. Storylines are back. Everything's back. So I hope you come back and you check it out. It'll be very easy to follow. And that's the other thing. So when this announcement comes out on the 26th, I don't think it's ever been easier to follow than this season. So I am going to keep hyping it up. So I can only apologize so many times for that, but I'm not going to apologize for being excited for something that I can't wait for you guys to see. And I can't wait to tell you how we came up with it also afterwards too, because that's going to be the fun story that I can't tell yet because I don't want to spoil anything, but that's the thing that I'm really pumped for. So like I said, I won't ever apologize for hyping things up when I get really excited about it, because I'm very excited about it. I'm pumped about it in the same way that I was where I said that I think like it's okay to know when you're doing something that's not working, to be able to move and shift and do things. That's why this channel was created, and I think that this channel has been a lot of fun, and I've had so much fun working on it, and I can't wait to keep putting more stuff on this, and this evolves, and eventually and the Schmoedown had to evolve too in one way or another, and it was just a matter of finding it, where we had to find the right rhythm for what people liked in the pop culture world of what we're doing, and we had to find the right rhythm for the Schmoedown, and I believe we got it. So Skim Papadopoulos, I hope that you like it, and I am excited to see your comments on Reddit. I do hope that we have a human conversation about it. But if you're there to burn the world down, then so be it, my good man. Either way, I hope that I get you on board. I hope I get you all on board. But I'm excited for today's show. Thank you guys. I'm pumped for you guys to see everything we're working on. Peace out, and we'll talk to you next time.